Hey, what's up, guys? Start at day 37. There's actually going to be a lot going on today. I have a confession to make. I uh, I lost a big contract this morning, and it's entirely my fault. Um, just some lack of attention to detail on my end, and just absolutely unforgivable. Oh my God! If I worked for myself, I'd fire me, straight up. So what exactly happened was I broke one of my rules, and that was I sent the proposal the design proposal that I used to close contracts, sent that to the homeowner because he wanted to present it to his wife. I broke rule number one. Normally I'd be like, okay, fine, you're bending procedure, shucking and jiving, but I didn't bother. I didn't even notice during the presentation references to places like Atlanta, Georgia, and the numbers on the pricing slide didn't exactly add up. Because I was in such a hurry to get this out because I've just been inundated, man. While I was in Seattle, I was running 18 hours a day, but 7 days a week. But that's no excuse because homie booted up that presentation, showed his wife, and Lane looked like a chucklehead. So, and this is what I mean. I'm gonna share with you guys my screen here, and let's go into the presentation that I like to use. Basically, I referenced a portfolio partner of mine. So I'm NSS Home. This said All American Renovations. Ugh. Inside the scope of work, that was okay. This slide was okay. This slide didn't add up. That number down below didn't add up. This number didn't add up. This said we're the only remodeler in the Atlanta Metro or Puget Sound. So, and this said All American. It was just bad all around. I look like an idiot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resurrect this deal right now. But first, just so we lost that big contract, but on the flip side, ran a site visit yesterday for about a $250,000 build. Yep. Yeah. Am I sending those proposals? I broke my rule. Like I don't send, like when a homeowner asks me to send that to them because they need to talk to the wife, I'm not supposed to send that out. Like that's against the remodel commander rules. The proper response to the homeowner is, I wish I could be compensated to educate my competition. If you'd like, I'll schedule another presentation. But this presentation does not leave my computer. Just straight up, just be straight with them. But no, I was a weak little bitch and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll send it to you. And with all those errors, of course, I lost the deal and they're going in a different direction. So I'm going to resurrect the deal. I have a play. I'm going to show it to you guys right now. But first, just know our calculator is absolutely firing on all cylinders. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into here. Let's go. I'm going to boot up our advertising and just so you guys can it's firing on all cylinders. I need to ramp advertising just in case this ever happens again. So let's go to ad set and yeah, I was spending. Okay, yeah, we're at $100 a day. So that's good. So let's get into the design challenge. So, inside the RC resource library for this scenario, what I call the design challenge, this is supposed to be fired off when you're dealing with a homeowner who either A, doesn't think they can afford it and needs more clarity, or B, is one of those crazy C-type personalities that just, they need more detail in order to make a decision. And in both cases, what ends up happening is those homeowners will talk to contractor after contractor after contractor, hoping to find one dumb enough to work for free to essentially get them to having a floor plan on paper with an itemized rough estimate. right? Not a ballpark. And too many of us just do that shit for free. And so what ends up happening is the homeowner will talk to like 19 or 20 of us, and then they end up doing business because they get so worn down by us not giving them the detail they're looking for, because that takes like 20 man hours of work to get to that level, to be able to provide them a reasonably accurate itemized rough estimate by trade, with allowances for like, hard bid on the rough material, allowances on the finish, allowances on the trades, or I'm sorry, the labor, allowances for overhead and profit, and project administration, otherwise known as COPA. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my playbook here. I've already got the email. I'm gonna doctor this email based on the situation we're in. If y'all would humor me, I'm going to take this email, and what we'll do, I'm going to rewrite this for this situation. I've never been in a situation where I needed to save face. So, and so I'm going to put here, I screwed up, I'm going to put, I screwed up. This is how I can fix it. Okay. Right. And so I'm going to go through this. I'll be like, so over 70% go over because of design issues, like, or mostly because of insufficient design details, or contractor games. I'm gonna delete all this. I'm gonna delete all that, and I'm gonna say, and quite frankly, I have to make an apology. All right, I didn't bother to ensure the proposal you received was both branded correctly and the numbers added up correctly. If I worked for myself, I would fire me. So if you would allow me to save face and help you make a stronger decision, I'm sorry, a more informed decision. Okay, hold on. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say, all right, decision. I'd like to get your project to, normally here, guys, I would pitch a deal where I would get them a floor plan with a 3D or with a 3D rendering and a rough estimate. And I would usually charge them $697 for that. And then from there, they could either sign a full-on design agreement with me or decide they're not going to do the project. Here, because I'm trying to save face, I'm going to offer to do this for free. And I'm going to say, I'd like to get your project to redline with a rough estimate, with a rough though refined estimate, to then make a decision from there where/how to proceed. And what I'm going to put here is I'm going to say, this is what I mean. All right, I'm like, 1, we'll get a floor plan and 3D rendering. Okay, 2, what I'm going to do here is a rough refined estimate. And what I'm going to put here is this is going to be This will be rough materials, quoted with quantities and price by trade. This will be finish material, estimated by allowance. And then this is going to be labor and project administration, or labor estimated by allowance, and project administration estimated by allowance, right? So these numbers we'd call 70%, meaning any number any number pulled from within the range of allowances would have a 70% chance of what goes to build contract after selections and trades day to lock in our costs. All right. Normally I'd charge $697 to develop this project, to develop the project this far. Because I'm a knucklehead and need to earn your confidence, I'll do this free with no expectation of continuing into our design retainer agreement unless we are a fit. Okay, all I need from you is to decide whether we are going with the addition, ADU, or subdivided new build. Because he's got a big property. And this is what really screwed me up, because never in my career have I dealt with a person ready to go to contract, but they were considering 3 very large and very different projects. So that just threw me for a loop. But yeah, learn something new every day. Okay, fair enough. I'll put fair enough. I'll put lane 787-629-0188. Now you guys know my cell number, NSSHome.co. All right. So boom, fire it off. There we go. And I have so many. So, okay. So Camilla, okay, cool. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm sorry. No, that's not 8. Okay, so I have 8 more designers to set appointments with, so that's good. But yeah, so that's where we're at. Let me remove the screen here, and yeah, I'm going to set those appointments today. I'm going to follow up. Oh yeah, you know what? This is what we're going to do here. I'm going to share this with you. So let's go into NSS Home. Wait. Okay, I need to switch out of this account, switch to my account. Okay, cool. Give me a second. I'm going to follow up with Parker real quick inside my CRM and let you guys see that happen. But yeah, so I'm going to follow up with those designer appointments today. Today is also another site visit. This one's for a $500,000 to $700,000 addition on a historic home right on the border of Bellevue and Medina, real expensive area. Super excited for that. So sending Peter, the sales guy, and my partner now out to go conduct that site visit. We're going to be preparing proposals both for the historic deal today and yesterday's bedroom edition. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Parker, I was like, yeah, let's move forward. And then we'll have 1.2 million into the pipeline. And I'm going to go from being very angsty to very, very, very cocky. Again, funny how the roller coaster swings around here. But let's do this. Let's go to NSS. Come on. And we'll let this, there we go. There is NSS Home. And yeah, so dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Anyway, let this boot up. But yeah, so we could go from only having a $120,000 kitchen going, oh yeah. And then yesterday we did redline. Let's let this load. Yesterday we did redline for the kitchen. I do have some concerns there about design getting bogged down. There are so many chefs in the kitchen. We have a fabulous designer. The problem is the cabinets are being designed by the cabinet vendor because this was a cabinet vendor lead. And it just gives me the willies when I'm not 100% in control. So what we're gonna do there, anyway. So I'll follow up with Parker later. Yeah. So Corey is like, when working with a designer, do you suggest to do an agreement with the designer? Yeah. So Corey, what I typically do, man, if a lead comes from a designer, what I'll do is I'll let the designer finish their process. And then once they're done with their process, I'll take the design and then I'm going to pull out my red marker. And in about 4 hours later, it's going to look like a murder scene on that paper, finding everything that's incomplete, inaccurate, or insufficient for a firm fixed bid that I'm comfortable standing behind. And what I'm going to, if that lead came from the designer and I want a relationship with the designer, I'm going to explain to them that number one, I'm going to compliment them. These are amazing drawings. But for us to do a firm fixed price to protect the homeowner from contractor games, to protect the homeowner from unnecessary change orders, this is what we need to do. And, are you open to me pitching a pre-construction package to the homeowner so that the homeowner will essentially pay for these red lines, so this isn't coming out of your rear end? And usually they're like, oh my God, Lane, thank you. That way I'm the bad guy. Not that they're not incompetent. I'm just unreasonable. And they love it when I do that. Now let's say that the homeowner is working with a designer and the homeowner brought me the lead and the designer's being kind of a punk and is not wanting to play ball, then I'm going to take that murder scene on paper to the homeowner and explain to them, these are all the change orders you can expect if you take this to build. And are you comfortable with this level of risk? And they always say no. And then I sell them a modified design agreement and then sub the fixes back to the designer. So now I'm in charge. Either way, whether we do it the gentle way or we do it the forceful way, Corey, I'm the prime. I'm the general. The designer is a subcontractor to me, just like a tile guy, just like a framer. But don't ever say this in public. Don't ever say this to their face. And that, again, this is only when I'm dealing with a new relationship that I haven't had the opportunity to sit down and craft our joint venture agreement of how we're going to run the design so that the end product is something that doesn't get marked up and looking like a murder scene before we go to build. Does that kind of make sense, Corey? So anyway, let's see. I'm going to check real quick, and I'm gonna boot up while we're. Yeah, those are good questions. So keep them coming. Let's. There we go. All right. So conversations. Now I can share the screen here. So dun, 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 dun. Yep. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull up Parker. That's not right. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, this was supposed to work. Dun, 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 dun. Where are you? NSS. NSS. There we go. All right. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to put in here Parker. Sorry. Parker. He's not in there. Okay. Weird. That is so odd. I'll just text this guy and I'll let you know what happens as a result of that. But yeah, let's do that right now. Let's go here. I'm going to type in Parker. There he is. I'm going to put Parker. Parker, good morning. Good morning. Hey, I sent you an email about an error and proposed fix. Did you get it? All right, cool. See, there we go. All right. So if he responds back, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, that's some people inside Remodel Commander call that the design challenge offer. I call it the Hail Mary. I've never had to use it to save face before because usually I'm very deliberate and calculated when in front of a homeowner. And because I was just so fucking excited to be in the red zone that early into the challenge, I was like, screw it, let's go. And so I broke two of my rules. Number one, I sent the proposal out. I never do that because all that does is that gets in the hands of a competing contractor who then says, that guy's a fucking idiot. Your range should be this much lower. And I'm just not going to play that game. So I shouldn't have done that, number one. And number two, if I was going to break that rule, I probably should have went through that design with a fine tooth comb, that design proposal to scrub it of references to All-American and Atlanta and make sure the math. So my bad. Anyway, I have ramped up again in response. I've ramped up my realtor and designer marketing with my outbound emails to set appointments. Yesterday, I had a really cool meeting with a fabulous designer over Zoom because I'm here in Puerto Rico. So proof of concept established. If you're inside Remodel Commander, you're seeing those recordings. I wish I could show that publicly, but that would screw up the challenge because some of y'all haters might torpedo me, and B, there's a lot of proprietary stuff in there that my clients and partners would be very, very upset if that went out. So yeah, that's where we're at. And yeah, so tonight, another site visit. Hopefully I can resurrect the Parker deal, and we'll take it from there. I'll report in tomorrow. You guys be good. See ya.